The book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Kol Elohim Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Hakodash. Double honors to the elders, to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations whom subscribe to this truth to you. I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sop coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. This lesson was inspired through the spirit based on a video that I just saw. I've been, as of lately, following this guy. Well, not really following him. I've been watching this guy. He's been popping up in my feed. And, I don't know how much of it is gimmick. You got like, what's the guy name? Daylight. Like the guy Daylight. He a rapper, battle rapper, or whatever. And, when he got on Vlad TV, he would just say shit off the top of his head, or he came up with the character. Some people think he corny, but if you into rap or whatever, he'll say some similes and metaphors that'll fuck your head up. He got a song called Merkaba, and Merkaba is in the scriptures. So anyhow, I remember brother was like, "Oh, he bugged out." He probably is, but at the same time, he like Charleston White to a degree. You know what I mean? Like Jake would say, he said even a broke clock is right twice out the day. So he'll say some shit that'll make you think. But more than likely, what I mean, he got his education from being on YouTube. He probably take a mixture of hearing what the brothers say, because I've heard certain things that brothers bring out him say. No Jake bugged out because he got his face tattooed. But nonetheless, I noticed this guy. They call him Unc. 607 Unc. And, he just said some crazy outlandish shit. I've been watching him lately. Again, he a character, you know what I mean? Just like Charles and White, pretty much saying how they created characters because they figured out how to get paid off of this social media, doing these interviews and whatnot. And at the end of the day, it's pretty much strictly entertainment. These dudes anybody following these dudes seriously gonna be destroyed with these dudes, you know what I mean? But saying all that to say this, I was watching him because he made some statements about some things that's going on, which is all distraction. But I never saw this video, and it caught my attention. So, because this is how the typical Jake thinks, especially like, I know Jake that think like this, you know what I mean? Well, I knew Jake that think like this. I don't associate with people like that no more, but you got to be careful because you never know who you might be around, you know what I mean? That's why if you able to drive, you ain't got to catch the bus, you ain't got to be around certain social climates. Count that a blessing, especially with all the judgment going on nowadays, you know what I mean? Like, you better stay amongst the brotherhood. But I'm going to say fair use, Copyright Act, what's that? Copyright Act 17 or whatever. Like basically fair use. I'm not profiting off of this. I'm just using it to line up, with the scriptures, So Lord willing, this is edifying.
Like, damn, man, this your mom. What you doing? My money come with explanation. Like, yeah. Listen, somebody I get $10, got what they need it for. Now I got to decide whether that's good or not. It's just like the bank. It's like everywhere else you go. Money has stipulations. The book, stop playing with me. Yeah, $10, $1, all the same. All the same. Money. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, it got string on it. It gotta come back. Yeah.
I already said it's money. Gotta come back. You know what I mean? Got a string on it. And again, I know Jake. From our elders on down, because there's nothing new or glamorous about being in the street. I don't say that, pridefully. I'm just saying a lot of people didn't make it out the street. You know what I mean? Like, so basically going into the fact that whenever you've experienced something, you got to take that. It's a scripture to talk about a man that has traveled, has much experience, roughly paraphrased. I don't feel like getting it, but pretty much, experience goes a long way. You know, eagerness is what they, but when you experience some things, you know, experience is the best teacher. So we all know individuals, or we all might not know individuals like this. But I know many individuals like this, and niggas like this I see and cross the street, like the elder said. You see a nigga like this, you cross the street. But you heard what he said. Like pretty much, he idolizes and worships money. He like a percentage of Floyd Mayweather or 50 Cent and all these different individuals. He just that's he voices, he's more boisterous about it. You know what I mean? I think this dude got a podcast too, and he's been saying a lot of crazy, outlandish shit as of lately about the Illuminati. And he talking about Lil Durk and all that, but I never saw this one. And he said how pretty much his mother would have to pay him back money. Now this dude ain't fucked up. He said he sacrificed his son to get out of jail. He said a lot of little shit. But it's funny too because I've been coming across a lot of videos where either, Jake talking about how they was in satanic cults or worshiping Satan or shit like this. And again, like the brother, I was watching the brother video from Men of Valor. He was going into, you got to take certain things, as a grain of salt, you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, you don't know if it's misinformation. You don't know, pretty much you can't put all your stock in something that one of these individuals may say. You may put it in the back of your mind and remember that it was said, but don't, you can't trust because a lot of misinformation is going on right now. But the point of this lesson is because of some of the things he said. This man worships money to the point where this is the type of man that's gonna like he would take you out in order to get what you got or to keep what he has. One of them individuals that when this shit go down, you don't want to be by a person like this.
From the mama. You swear to God on my mama. Even from the mama? Even from the thing on it. It gotta come back. Yeah, even from the mama. You swear to God on my mama. Even from the mama.
He said, and that's one of his catchphrases, even from the mama. And he said, put that on my mama. He said, it's a string, the money got to come back. But what happens when the money fails? The scriptures talk about the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, about, the money failing. And Genesis chapter 47 talks about the money failing. So individuals like this is going to be all the way fucked up, and they're going to run to Esau, Edom for help, and they're going to be willing to take anything. I remember when, what was his name? Slim Thug was mad. He didn't put a name on it or a face, but he pretty much was like, y'all ugly, this. He wanted to pretty much point the finger at, the men of the Lord that's out here doing and pushing the truth for the fact of, the lockdown. So how much more so when they come with this second round of it?
Even from the mama. It don't matter. Like damn, man, this your mama. What you doing?
I'm going to play it again. So he loved money more than his mother.
My money come with explanation. Like, yeah. Listen, so like I get $10, that's what they need it for. Now I got to decide whether that's good or not. It's just like the bank. It's like everywhere else you go. Money has stipulations. The book, stop playing with me. Yeah, $10, $1, all the same. All the same.
Show you, and then his logic. He got that Charleston White goofy head logic. $10, $1 all the same. It's not all the same. It's not because they all hold a different value. That's the type of man, Davis, man. Look at his face. I know a nigga like this.
Yeah, it got string on it. It gotta come back. Yeah, even from the mama. You swear to God on my mama. Even from the mama. Even from the mama. It don't matter. Like damn, man.
Scriptures talk about for the love of money is the root of all evil. Where is that at? This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6. And I'm gonna start at verse 6. 1 Timothy 6:6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. Verse 8. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare. I did a lesson earlier about, a snare, and this whole system, this monetary system, is a huge snare for majority of 2/3 of our people. They seeking, what was that scripture talk about? Seek not things, seek things above and not below. I think it's in Hebrews too. I just read it too because I did a search. But it says, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Verse 10, the point. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, money's not evil. Scriptures tell you that money's a defense. Yeah. But the love of money, which you can clearly see that individual loves money more than his motherfucking mother. This nigga a demon. So just imagine what he gonna do for your money, his money. It was a verse that Lloyd Banks made. He said pretty much, like, say for instance, they both was running to go get make a sale. They both on the block and they both running to make a sale. He said, "I'd trip you." Yeah, roughly paraphrased. Yeah, I remember. I forgot who in his truth made a statement similar to that. He said, which I understand what Jake, Jake then went through all these different things and everybody fighting for their crown. But the thing is, it says only one man could fit one by one. So basically going into order. The one particular elder made a statement. He said, we're gonna be running and we're gonna be running trying to tell you to what it is and you better catch up. Basically he's saying he ain't stopping for you. He ain't say nothing about tripping you. You know what I mean? Like, but I understand how easily words can be confounded or you could misspeak or whatnot. You know what I mean? I have done it. Like I made the statement about some of the Samaritans being Israelites, and I didn't mean that. So I meant, because you had the land of Samaria, you know. So I'm sure it was Israelites in that land, but the Samaritans was not Israelites. So, you know, just clarification. But it says, for the love of money is root of all evil. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So, scriptures talk about for filthy lucre's sake, and you got that going on to this day. I'm not going to name any camps, but everybody knows, like those that's in Israel, Yasharallah, especially brothers in particular camps, know, who's doing this for what. And that's another reason why I respected the men that the Most High is truly dealing with. You know, when you breaking down, you got to pay for a breakdown. You got to pray for your salvation. You don't think that's off? The scriptures talk about, like, literally, if you worth that much money, you really sure you're going to be willing to give any of that up when it's time to give up things? Not for sure. So go to the definition of covetousness. Covetousness is a strong desire to have something, especially something that belongs to someone else. Especially something that belongs to someone else. It can also be described as an envious eagerness to possess something. Synonyms of covetousness include avarice, greed, and cupidity. Cupidity. I ain't never heard of that. So, you can covet a man's wife. That's what scriptures talk about. Covet not another man's wife. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 17, and it reads, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor." So you shouldn't want what another man has. Point blank, period. And the way that this shit is so fucked up now, you got men that's envious or covetous over the amount of money that another man has or makes. It's just the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, starting at verse 10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance will increase. This is also vanity. You know, he said every dollar that go out got to come back. An individual like that is not gonna know what to do when this system crashes. They gonna lose their motherfucking mind. Now the thing is this. Again, I like a good laugh like everybody else. I'm not always just so austere and serious. You know what I mean? Like I don't laugh at every motherfucking thing, but I do laugh still. You know what I mean? Like the elder said, you got to have fun with this thing. But this dude, and that's what make me, I guess, watch it because he comical. But you know, at the same time, it's like we ain't got time for comedy. Like this dude, again, it's a good thing that I'm not a worldly nigga, you know, like some of these people, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like just like I listen to certain brothers, like they can't stand 2/3 Jake, you know. And again, he funny to a degree, but at the same time, it ain't gonna be funny when you know, like when your kids starving and shit. Like the Lord is in a time of judgment, you know what I mean? Like, and niggas like that, you know, like when they talk about how Holly weird, they sacrificing one another, which I wholeheartedly believe that. You know, I wholeheartedly believe that. Real talk. I wholeheartedly believe that. Just because I got a testimony. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. You know. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 11 and verse, what's that? 4. It says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death. And a nigga like that is not righteous. This nigga, I mean, like I said again, I've been watching him for like the last 2 or 3 days. I don't know why he popping up in my feed, but like I said, maybe just to make this video. I don't know, because like I said, I never saw this one. I saw like he's been speaking on the dirt situation. You know, he's speaking on a few little things, and then he pretty much, I guess, how he got famous was he was talking about how Nelly stole country grammar from you. You know what I'm saying? So again, like Charles and White is what's the word? Controversial. He'll say certain things. Like that's why he was attacking them rappers and shit like that. You know what I mean? Charles and White don't give a fuck about them little kids. Charles and White will tell you I'll fuck your daughter. He was disrespecting the one guy, the GD dude. I can't think of his name. But long story short, like that was just his foot in the door. Like Lord got something specially lined up for niggas like Charleston White and Lil Boosies and all them different individuals, you know. So again, Proverbs 11 and verse 4, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death. And those individuals like them are not righteous, but, you know, are wicked. So that's why they're going to receive the judgment, you know. They're probably going to have to eat one of those missiles, those ICBMs. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, and verse 15. I'm going to probably end it. It says, wherefore he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, of covetousness, for thou a man have abundance, yet his life standeth not in his riches. Verse 16, and he put forth a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth fruits plenteous. Verse 17, therefore he thought with himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where I may lay up my fruits? Verse 18, and he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and therein will I gather all my fruits and my goods. So pretty much you had a wealthy man, and pretty much, you know, he had, fruit, he had product, you know, and pretty much he was saying with that, what I'm gonna do with my product, I got more product than I got room. So he said he gonna tear down his current barn and rebuild a bigger barn. Verse 19. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Live at ease, eat, drink, and take thy pastime. So pretty much he said, he gonna build a bigger barn to, put the abundance of his product into the bigger barn, and then he gonna be able to sit back because, his goods are selling. Pretty much, he looking long term. You know what I mean? His eye, he was looking at the long term carnally, but not looking at anything spiritually. Again, if and it's truth, and you spiritually still, or if you still just looking, it's nothing wrong with, you know, trying to do better at anything, but it also is a waste of time trying to, like, if you could get another or a better job, try to do that. You know, if you can start something like a side hustle or whatnot, do that. But if you expecting to be here 15 more years, you know what I mean, and you go start this school, you know what I mean, like, then maybe you kind of delusional, or you not really like vested in the truth like you think, in my opinion, Because again, like I said, you gotta have the mindset we might have to leave all these different things. Brother just did a video along the lines of that. He said, "Don't get attached to nothing in this truth that you can't walk away from." And I believe he got that from that movie Heat. He said, "I don't do anything that I can't walk away from in 30 seconds or left flat." And then when he broke his own rule, that's what fucked him up. So again, elder brothers be saying it is truth. Your own worst enemy be yourself sometimes. Verse 20, but the Most High said unto him, O fool, this night will they fetch away thy soul from thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So this is worded a lot different. But pretty much it said the Most High visited him and said, you fool, pretty much I know in the King James it say I require thy soul. You know what I mean? So you got one plan, but the Lord got a whole nother different plan. You know. Verse 21. So he that gathered riches to himself and is not rich in the Most High. Because the scriptures talk about lay up thy treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not corrupt. How do we go? It's a scripture to talk about where Mashiach is sitting at the right hand of the Most High. Set your mind on things above, not on things on the earth. And that go with, what's that, Matthew chapter 6. Lay up your treasures in heaven. I'm going to say that. So, yeah. But, we all know that 2/3 of our people, you got your Floyd Mayweathers, your individuals like this guy, your 50 Cents, your Jay-Z's, your P. Diddy's, Scriptures tell you in the book of Luke chapter 6, those that be rich on this side have received their consolation. So, follow up to Esau Edom, you know what I mean? Being snared in this huge ass trap known as Babylon the Great. Fuck a 2/3. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, all honor, and all glory. We seeking the hopeful elect. So with that, I want to give all praise, all glory, and all honor to call Loyim La Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, I'm able to come with another lesson. So shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah. Wath Lababah.